tits, bitch.
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to the movie review portion of episode 97 of the best horror podcast on 7voltmedia.com, Scream Fiends. I'm your host, Xander, and with me once again is Russ.
97?
97.
What are we going to do for the big 100?
100. I don't know.
We should just not have a 100. Be like, we took a day off.
Be like Elevator or
Hotels.
Story 13.
We just skip it.
Level 13. Yeah, there is no episode 100.
We should do something really good for 100. Like
There's got to be something we've talked about for a while now.
Blue Velvet.
That is. All right. All right. There you go. Episode 100, Blue Velvet.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we have been talking about that since the beginning.
And it's like it's more of a thriller art piece thing than a horror movie, but I don't care. It's really good. And you haven't seen it. It makes me mad.
Get at us on Twitter at Scream Fiends. Hit
Yep.
that subscribe. Subscribe on iTunes and Google Play.
Yep.
Patreon.com/Scream Fiends.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Episode 97.
We're
I mean, who's going to start here?
yeah. You got a long back catalog.
Especially when they see the title of this movie.
Oh. So, this episode's movie of the week is 1981's Galaxy of Terror.
Prepare yourself for the ultimate battle. Galaxy of Terror. Hell has just been relocated. It orbits a burned-out star at the edge of the galaxy.
They're out there.
It's been waiting 1 billion years to scare you to death. Trapped in a living maze of terror.
What are the odds of us getting out of here?
What are the odds? We lose.
Stranded astronauts Edward Albert and Aaron Moran battle hordes of hideous shadow demons, encounter the razor-sharp living glass, brave the pit of doomed souls, just to discover the only way out is death. Galaxy of Terror. The ultimate horror in space.
Yeah.
So, one starring Edward Albert as Cabron. Cabron?
Something like that.
Cabron?
Cabron?
Aaron Moran as Aluma. Joni.
From Joni Loves Chachi and Happy Days.
Also, Joanne on Love Boat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Ray Walston as Core. Bernard Behrens as Commander Ilver. Ilver?
Yeah.
Ilver? The legend Robert Englund
Who's that?
as Ranger. He had a nightmare one night on Elm Street.
Sure did.
And Nancy, his wife Nancy, had to wake him up.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And he woke up and he had these long fingernails.
And some,
just out of nowhere.
and
he
some kid was
found out
standing
he had
over him with a hat on and some weird sunglasses, and he popped a pop gun in his face.
Yep. Found out he had a calcium deficiency. The other legend, Sid Haig, as Quhad. Quhad?
Yes, it was something
Yep.
like that.
And
He lives and dies by the crystal.
another legend, Grace Zabriskie,
Yep.
as Captain Trantor,
Yes.
who you may know from
Twin Peaks.
Big Love, Twin Peaks,
Wild at Heart.
got the crazy eyes,
I think she was in Seinfeld.
probably.
I think she played George's fiance's mother.
Oh. Written by Mark Siegler and B.D. Clark, and directed by B.D. Clark. And this is a Roger Corman production.
Oh, should we talk real quick? Just a real quick mention of the second unit and who was,
Yes.
who was in the second unit. Xander?
Second unit director is none other than Jim, the James Man, Cameron.
I want to call him Jim. So his face is like, "How you doing, Jim?" Like I've known him his whole life. And he hits me with some 3D camera.
Teleports you to Pandora.
Yeah, he's not gonna be in Avatar 3.
You are doomed to Avatar Part 8.
Oh my God, there's a lot of those coming out.
We have a lot of avatars to look forward to. So, I'm going to let you take charge
Oh God,
of this movie because it was your choice.
I'll try.
And I just don't know where to begin.
So it begins with an old lady with teeth missing, talking to a glowy head dude.
See, I'm already going to start to take over because it does not start there.
Where does it start?
It starts on a
You're right. It starts in a spaceship.
Garbage planet.
Yep.
There's just
Garbage.
garbage and debris, and
Spaceship.
there's a crashed spaceship.
Yep. And a guy running around with some kind of gun.
It's got that 80s synth, but it's not like a
Ooh.
it's not like
It's good though.
It's not a hip synth.
Nope.
It's not a John Carpenter synth. It's
No,
more
it's
like
like
a
angry speak
It's
and
jazz
spell.
synth. Jazz
Oh,
synth.
it's good.
Zip-up-up, zip-up-up, zip-zip,
But
zip,
it's got
zip,
a
zip.
tinge of horror and like tensity to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
And the
tense-
guy's definitely
tense
running
enough.
for his life.
Yeah.
And then he like sees his demise on a screen, and then starts getting smashed around a room.
Yeah, almost like a telekinetic force.
Yeah, and then he like gets his head crushed, and he's like, "Ah!" And I love like it does this still shot where it stops, and then that planet gets like superimposed over his face or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it goes to
Well, isn't it like a morgue? Isn't that where he's at on the ship? Because I thought he
Maybe.
like sees like a head with the brain showing.
something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But then we go to the old man,
Yes.
and the old woman, and the glowy head dude,
Yep.
known as the Master at the time.
And it is the planet Xerxes,
Yes,
and this is Mitra. She's some sort of soothsayer or something.
yeah,
Something of that sort.
and they're playing some game.
He's got a red blob head.
Yeah, it's
It's a red blob head.
he looks like a light bulb.
Yeah.
And so he's there,
Yeah.
and they're talking about the spaceship having stumbled on something.
Mm.
And then, what was the name of the commander? The old guy?
Ilver.
Ilver comes on the screen and tells them, hey, we are ready to go.
Mm.
And he's like, I will, and then the glowy head's like, I will specifically choose my crew. He's like, okay. Then we go to the spaceship. Oh, no. The old lady's telling him not to do this, though. So they know what they've found, and that he's gonna be surrounded in death if he goes to this thing. And he's like, this is not the time to wait any longer.
Well, and they're all seemingly obsessed with some kind of game. Like, I don't know what it is, if it's different games, But like, yeah, the old lady and the red blob head are playing a game.
Yep.
And then, it's a little bit ahead, but the Captain Trantor, she like has this weird Hesperus. You remember the Hesperus moment?
Yeah, there's something happened on one of her flights.
Yeah, but there's this weird like it's a face shot of her, and
This happens right now, actually.
Yes.
Because so what happens is the guy talking to the master about setting up the team goes to the spaceship they choose, and he's kind of fucking around with the computer. Now, the first thing I got to say is the production quality of the props and the set pieces are really good.
Yeah, for being
A B movie, it's
Yeah.
an '80s B movie.
Yeah.
The props were great. I mean, I really was impressed by this. And so he's fucking around with this thing, and she's like, "What are you doing at my station? I'm the one flying this heap." And so she sits down to get that ready, and he goes, "Oh, blah blah blah," talking. She's like, "You're a little long in the teeth to be doing this and whatever." And it's just banter, but it's good. It's not annoying or anything. It seems like something they might actually say to each other if there wasn't a camera on them. But then they get to this Hesor thing, or what is it called? Hesperus, which something happened to Grace Zabriskie at this Hesperus thing, and whenever she talks about it, you get this like shot of her face. It's like a slow zoom,
like a
super slow zoom.
Yep, and then she's got this solemn look.
And a solemn look. And there's also like a noise that is associated with this whole thing. And every time it happens, like that is really creepy.
Yeah, it's like it's just it completely doesn't jive with the rest of the tone of the movie.
No, it gets inserted there so oddly, and you never learn about it.
And then it just like cuts.
Yep, and she's like, "Oh, I'm okay."
It's just like ends, and the music stops just like instantly. So it's like it's a weird transition.
So then we get a scene where you get you kind of meeting the rest of the team.
Yep.
And it's a very a la Alien, and they're getting ready because they're going to go. They're going to this planet. They're going to Arrakis.
That's actually like kept on going through my head, like how similar this movie is to Aliens, just because it's all about this crew going
to do a rescue mission
on this strange planet.
Yep. Well, I talked about a movie like this, like earlier when I was talking about it, we should do a sequel to this. Where a spaceship that can fold space and time.
Oh yes.
Goes out and then comes back, and then they bring the designer of the ship on, and the ship won't let them leave.
Yep.
And the ship's named after the edge of a black hole. I can't remember what that's called.
Horizon.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It would be quite the event. But
that is quite the original idea. I would bring that up to.
I think I would cast Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
That's a different whole other joke. I saw this clip where this guy, I think it's ESPN, is interviewing Samuel L. Jackson. And they're like, "Oh yeah, then you had that commercial during the Super Bowl." He's like, "What commercial?" "Oh, that was. You mean Martin, or you mean what's his name?
Morgan Freeman?
No. Lawrence Fishburne? I'm not Lawrence Fishburne. We don't all look alike." It's like the guy's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." It's like, "I'm not Lawrence Fishburne." It's so good. That's why I've said, we'll use him instead of Lawrence Fishburne for our Event Horizon joke that went on too long. But yeah, so you get the whole thing, and the next scene is just them like getting their ship going, and they get it off the planet. It does seem rickety as shit, and then they're trying to get the warp drive in. And like Grace is like rubbing the console, hoping to get it to work, and it does.
They're flipping all kinds of switches.
They're not doing anything. They're flipping switches, and it takes off. And Robert Englund lands in.
He's late. He's late to the cockpit.
Yeah.
So,
but
instead of like strapping in, he lands on the lap of
Tiff O'Connell or something like that.
Yeah,
Tifa?
the buxom blonde.
Yep.
And she wraps her arms around him as a makeshift.
It's a belt.
Yep.
Then
arms and legs, I think, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Well, then they land.
Yep.
And they're on a junk planet. And
The same planet from the beginning.
yeah, it is the same one. And so they're gonna go do their rescuing thing. So they've also brought along an empath, which is cool because that's what Deanna Troi was.
Yeah,
so she
Erin
can-
Moran plays the empath.
Yeah, so she can
Aluma.
She can sense Ron Howard's and stuff. So she's so she they bring her aboard. So Corman, that was the other guy there, not Corman. What's his name? Core?
Cabrin.
Well, there's Cabrin, but then there's Core.
Oh yeah, Core.
He's like the cook.
He's the
Yeah, he's the cook.
and he at first stays on the ship with Trantor, Captain Trantor.
Yeah, and then they try to come back, and he's like, "I can't let you in. That's against protocol."
Yeah.
That's kidding. That doesn't happen. So they go on the ship, and there's a salute that Sid Haig and Cabron give each other, where they put their hand like this. They make a fist. It's something. So Sid Haig's character is some kind of like he's from some culture where they're like a warrior culture. It's a Klingon without makeup.
Yeah, he's got
like crystal ninja stars,
giant crystal ninja stars.
and he's like walking around. So they go into the spaceship, and like you get the Friday the 13th body falls from the rafters thing,
Yep.
and it falls, and then like 5 minutes later he's like, but the makeup effects were good on this, so
Yeah.
I liked that. The inside of the ship was cool. They're just kind of wandering around. They split up. They both go up, and then they send the weakest, wimpiest little guy off by himself, and he gets scared.
Yep. Well, you see a little stop motion
I love stop.
alien creature.
It's good. Do you like stop motion?
Yeah.
I like. It's bad, but I like it.
I almost think. What do you think about this? If instead of CGI, they focused all of their money and attention towards creating stop motion creatures instead of CGI.
Well, because of the frame rate on newer TVs, like was it 60 frames a second? You'd have to then move this monster 60 times per second throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So if the monster's on screen for say, if it's an hour, if it's an 83-minute movie, and he's on screen for 10 minutes, that's a lot of fucking work.
All I'm saying is that with technology now,
I'm pretty sure there's a filter on Photoshop that says make this shit look like it's stop motion.
I mean, but they could do it so that it's seamless, so it doesn't even look like stop motion, but
see
you
what
could
you're
have a
saying.
physical thing there. Mm-hmm. I just think that would
I think
more
you're-
effective.
I think you're onto something. They're having a physical thing, but I would just go with robotics.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get that. What is that robotics place that has all the freakish
Who
monsters?
cares? Let's get them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I want robots.
You ever see the one where they like kick it
Yeah, I always feel
and try to
kinda-
knock it over?
See, this is you probably don't feel bad about that,
No.
because it's not alive. I feel bad for this thing. It doesn't realize it's being kicked.
Oh my god!
It
What
only-
movie was that we had?
Extinction.
Oh,
it's
Ugh.
yeah. Fuck that conversation now. We're done.
Yep.
You have no problem killing people. That's what we've determined, even if they're not real people. So,
All right, so that guy gets taken out.
yeah. So yeah, he gets attacked by this monster.
Yeah, claws him, takes a claw.
Rips his scalp a little bit. You don't see
Yeah.
too much, but
No.
the blood effects
It's implied,
were good.
yeah.
It's implied, but like the way he bleeds from the actual cut looks really fucking good.
All of the gore in this movie is surprisingly good.
It's spot on good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I want to figure out who did this. Actually, I didn't look it up. I was gonna look it up who did it
Yeah,
and see what else they might have worked on because it's fucking good.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Even by like today's standards, it's
Yeah. Oh, God.
holds up.
It does. It's.
I was not expecting that from
That's just why
the tone of like the beginning of the movie and just
and it's very, very sci-fi and like super 80s fantasy. Hokey
yeah.
cheese fest. But the effects were fucking good. That's why
Yeah.
like I wanted you to see this. But so basically it's Alien. Okay, people. They go through this ship. They're trying to find survivors. They don't find anybody. They go back to the other ship. They come back, go back a few times, and people die until there's only one guy left. And the Legends of the Hidden Temple happens. But let's get into this though. So after the first guy dies, right? then they're bringing the bodies back and they're doing tests on these things, trying to figure out what happened. Like, okay, well, this guy got killed, but there was nobody in the room. It's like, yeah, we don't know how that happened. I'm like, Event Horizon, duh. But so I mean, it's pretty obvious from the get-go that these people, well, also because it's in the description of the movie, these people are being killed by their own fears. So this first guy was just killed by his own fear.
Yep.
They make a trip.
Although that doesn't really make sense because that monster makes multiple appearances.
But it does make sense because they had a low fucking budget and they weren't going to make a different monster for each person. But so they go back in to find more. They come back and the like kind of the captain, you know, not the captain of the ship, but like the captain of the survey / whatever crew's like, we're leaving, and the other guy's like, dude, we've only found 5 of the people, and there's 4 people unaccounted for.
So would you say Cabron is the leader of this ragtag group?
Not at first. It's that other guy with the shit face.
The guy that gets killed first?
No, that's a weasel little whiny kid.
No, Cabron is the guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the other guy is the leader.
Oh, the guy that looks like
Geddy Lee.
No. Fuck.
Yeah.
Guy from Lonely Island.
I don't know.
Saturday Night Live.
John Travolta?
That movie where he's like a daredevil.
What?
Andy Samberg.
Oh, yes. He does kind of look like Andy Samberg with severe facial features. Yeah. He's pretty pissy the whole movie. I think it's because Erin Moran doesn't like him.
Oh.
In
She
real
likes
life.
Cabron.
She likes Cabron. Cabrion.
Yep.
Cabriolet. Anyways, they go back in to find more survivors. Don't find anybody.
Commander Ilver.
Goes with.
Yep.
He goes with. I know. They find the
pyramid.
The pyramid. So they scan the landscape, and then when they come to this pyramid, it fucks up their system. So they go to this pyramid, and like, oh, this is cool, and it does look cool. It's like some crazy
Giant.
It almost reminds me, if you're a Warhammer 40K nerd, it reminds me almost of a Necron obelisk thing, like this like living tank thing they have that they use to teleport troops to. Oh man, those things are fucking nuts. But yeah, they're climbing up this pyramid to figure out how to get in. And that guy's like, I'm old. And then O'Connell, what's her name again?
I don't know what her name is.
I think her name was like Demiria in the movie.
Yeah,
Demira. Demira something. And she's like, oh, you're not old. He goes, I'm not old when I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
and she's like,
buddy.
And then he crawls up the thing and then falls like halfway down the pyramid, and his backpack comes off. Those fucking backpacks are made for this movie too.
Oh, they got the flashlights.
Yeah, it was cool. Oh man.
Oh yeah,
it looked good, and their uniforms are cool. So they get to the pyramid.
Commander falls down a hole and gets slapped with tentacles.
Well, he's going down the hole on a rope.
Oh, that's right.
And his carabiner breaks, and then he gets eaten.
Sucked the juices out of him by tentacle arms. He manages to chop a couple off.
Yeah.
But they just get him.
Yeah.
They get him.
And then they go down to check him, but they can't find him. He's like gone. They go down and look. I think Cabron does go. And then who gets it after him?
Is this the...
Andy Samberg?
Oh, no. I don't think it's... Andy Samberg falls off the bridge, right? Or no, he gets attacked and
he gets his
pushed.
gut split open and thrown into like the ravine. Or something.
Thrown off the little bridge. I think it's Sid Haig next.
Okay, so Sid Haig is creeping around with his. Oh, he breaks.
He breaks his crystal ninjutsu stars.
Yeah, but then as he's coming back, they reform, and he's happy. He's going to reach down for it, but then like it stabs him.
A piece breaks off.
Oh, that's right. He grabs it.
The best part in the entire movie.
Gross. This piece breaks off, lodges itself in his skin, and like he's trying to stop it because it keeps going up his skin.
Yeah, it's traveling up his arm.
It looks so good.
Oh, it is
And
so.
it made me squeamish. It was
Oh,
perfect.
it is so good.
So to stop this thing from going up his body, he cuts his own arm off, and then his arm that he cut off grabs the other ninja star and throws it into his chest, and he dies.
Yep. Goodbye, Sid Haig.
Oh my!
That,
fucking
yes,
God. That was good.
Oh, best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yep. Then O'Connell, she gets like killed by a
So they find Sid Haig's arm, cut off arm, and it's like covered in maggots.
Yeah.
And they end up shooting it with a laser, which starts it on fire.
Yep.
But one maggot survives.
Yep. Turns into a thing. No.
A giant maggot
And then
that
eats
actually looks like a giant tick.
it. Yeah. It's weird. It was a cool monster though.
It,
But that one like kills O'Connell.
makes its way with O'Connell.
Yeah, it was pretty sexually charged.
Rips her clothes off.
Yep.
Covers
It was
her in
more-
slime.
It was more like it dissolves her clothes off. It seemed like
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
because those
Her
were
clothes
like,
are just-
like those clothes that they were
Yeah.
wearing were like they looked sturdy,
Mm.
and those things were just like it was almost seemed like it was being torn like it was being torn away, but it seemed like it was like deteriorating.
Yeah.
But she gets goobered for sure.
Yeah, it's very much like Evil Dead
Yeah.
tree
Well, that's coming up.
root raping.
It's
Oh, okay, so they're both,
yeah.
but yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
it
then-
goes on for a little bit
Yeah. So basically,
more longer than you should be comfortable with,
it does
because
get-
there is even like actual
It looks like
humping going on.
Yeah, it looks
with
like the
the
slug maggot tick is like gyrating on her, and so it's. And
it's
she's
like if Power Rangers, like the giant monsters from Power Rangers, they made like a porn parody of that,
yeah,
which I'm pretty sure exists. But
it was an idea. So you had the idea. Somebody's probably had
Oh,
it
yeah.
before. It's out there.
isn't
But,
there like a word for that?
Wasn't it like Rule 34?
Something
If
like
you
that.
if it's been thought of, it's on the internet.
as like a porn.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, they're wandering around this pyramid, being attacked by their fears. The next person we get going like that I can't remember his name. Andy Samberg dies.
Yeah, I think that's when the Andy Samberg gets the
And he
guts.
he gets attacked by the same monster that killed that other guy.
Yes,
And so he gets
which makes me wonder if there is some sort of planet that they've had, almost like Starship Troopers. Yeah.
Hesperus.
Yep.
Maybe
And that's the
maybe
creatures
yeah,
from that
maybe.
planet, so that's what they fear, and that's why it's the same monster.
How does Gracie get it?
She doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
No.
No,
She pretty much stays on the ship the entire time.
I'm pretty sure she dies.
No.
Everybody dies.
No.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe
Yeah.
I was paying attention to my dog puking on the
Yeah.
couch.
And I was just really tired myself, but like, yeah, no, she did. She gets it because she gets burned or something. Remember, her face is all fucked up at the end of the movie, and her eyes are like this big. Oh yeah, she does make it.
Oh.
But then, then we get Robert Englund,
Oh, yeah.
and he gets attacked by the monster, but the monster is himself.
So he ends up shooting himself, basically.
But then he sees like reflections of the monster, and it's like there's no blood and there's no guts, and he's like, "Oh, I get it. This is make believe." And he figures it out. So he's screaming for Cabrin to tell him that it's fake. Meanwhile, Cabrin and what was her name?
Aluma?
Aluma are running around together trying to figure shit out, and they get split up. Where's Cora at this point? Because he went with. He goes, I'd like to come with this time. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
okay.
he like disappears.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, here's where he is. England. No, this is not it. So they get separated, and then Aaron Moran Aluma is crawling through a small tunnel, and then gets tentacles wrapped around her all over the place.
Oh, yes.
And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, here comes the tree raping scene. No, it crushes her, and like it severs her limbs, and then like she gets them around her face, and her fucking head explodes.
Yes.
It was awesome looking.
So cool. Like, yeah.
It was really good.
It's almost as good as like the Scanner's head explosion.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
is.
will put it up there with that.
fantastic. Yeah.
It was fucking
Yep.
fantastic. But after that, then we get England running into Cabran, And then the core is sitting at, so they get to like the main part of this pyramid, and core is sitting at the top, and he's like, "What's going on?" Blah blah blah, and he's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." I don't remember what they're saying, but basically they figure out that core is the bad guy here,
Yeah.
and so
Almost like not Prometheus, Alien Covenant.
yeah, but it's better than Alien Covenant. I'll say that right now before we get to the end of the movie. This movie is better than Alien Covenant. There's no plot holes. There's no giant plot holes.
But Core is the David.
But he's better than David too.
Yeah.
It's Roy Walston. But so he's trying to get up these stairs, but then like this is how like Cadron hasn't had any visions or anything. He's chosen not to be afraid of his own fears or whatever. So he makes it up, and then he finds Core sitting in like a meditative position, and he's like, "Oh, you're the master." He's like, "Yep," and his head starts glowing. You're like, "Oh shit!" And he explains to him that this pyramid was used on children of this ancient alien race to train them to overcome their fears.
Yeah, it was like a game.
It was like a game. And he's like, "Well, all these people have to die to do this." He's like, "Yep." And so,
Well, then he say no. They basically
they chose to die. Yeah, because they
'cause
didn't have to die, but they
they
chose
didn't.
this.
They didn't live up to their fears. They didn't
Yeah.
face their fears.
And then Cadron is like, "Oh,
Cadron.
guess what? Super Saiyan 4, shoot laser beams out of my belly button." He kills
Little baby
yep,
lasers.
and he kills Core. And Core's like, "This is what I wanted all along." He's like, "You wanted me to kill you?" He's like, "Yeah, no, you're the master." "Well, I'm not going to do this stupid game." She goes, "Oh, yes, you are."
If you don't want your planet to die,
Yep. You can either go back to your planet and watch it fall apart, or you can bring people to this pyramid and kill them. So maybe that's a plot hole, but
Yeah.
still better than fucking Prometheus.
Well, yeah, because Core got to leave, obviously.
Well, he died.
So are you saying...
I'm saying the master is like its own entity that uses their bodies.
Oh, so in that initial very beginning scene where you get the red blob head,
That's
that wasn't Core?
No, that is definitely Core. That's Core.
So how come it's telling Cabron that he can't leave if obviously Core left?
I'm thinking, well, because Cadron was saying that, or Cabron was saying that he wasn't going to bring people to this pyramid.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't about him leaving. He's like, "I'm not bringing people here."
Uh,
He goes, "Well, yeah, you are." And he's like, "Oh, you see this mustache?" And so then that's pretty much it for them.
yep, Cabron's now the master. He's got the
Yep, his head starts to glow.
red glow face.
It's a really interesting effect, actually. Like, to do that, like, that's just like the natural state of being for the masters, just have this fucking light bulb
I
face.
guess.
I don't know, I liked it.
But that's how it ends.
Yeah,
that's
that's
red glowy head for Cabron.
I like this movie.
You know, I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
It was like the Meg. We liked it more than we thought we were going to.
Yeah, but this one, like, I thought it was going to be a really bad, like, early 80s B movie.
Well,
Which it is, but
I think it's fun.
it's I mean, the effects are fantastic. Like, the Sid Haig with the arm, and then
The
Aaron
Moran
Moran.
explosion.
That is, and everything in between.
Yeah, the gut spilling out the one guy
Yeah.
was nuts.
The brain showing on the one cadaver, like, that was really good.
Or like when they were doing the autopsy, we forgot to talk about because
Oh yeah,
O'Connell and I think it was England were doing that autopsy. It's just like, that looks fucked up, but
yeah. The monsters, not so much. They're not quite as good. I mean, the stop motion one.
I liked the stop motion one.
Yeah, that
like
was actually
spider like thing,
pretty good.
But the big like weird alien head thing.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of the Rock and Roll Nightmare Monster. Ooh, we need to do that. I gotta call Scott. He has it. We're gonna have to do Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Everything else kind of looked like people in suits.
Yep.
It was kind of cool with the one monster that had the glowy eyes, and then when he got close to, I can't remember who it was, but
Cameron?
then faded into the.
Oh no, that was the other guy.
Yeah.
That was the Andy Samberg severe face
Yes,
guy.
yes.
Yeah, it showed up at him, disappeared, and then
Yeah.
showed up behind him. Was like, "You're open."
That was pretty neat.
I liked that.
Acting passable.
I thought the commander was good. I liked Grace. England was great.
Yep.
Cameron was okay. Aaron Moran didn't do too bad.
No.
The only guy that I thought was a little like over the top was Andy Samberg.
Well, and the guy in the beginning.
Oh, the chicken shit guy?
Yeah.
Or the guy that got killed right in the way?
The guy right away in the beginning.
I
He
lo-
was a little overacting.
But I want him in that movie doing
But
that.
that's what set the tone for me though, where it's like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? But yeah, otherwise,
Basically, I'm trying to get to a place where you'll never make me pick a movie again. I'm just gonna, the next time I pick, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, music has that strange jazz synth.
So I didn't mind the music. I thought the music was fun. It fit the movie and the time and all this
Yeah.
and that. The thing that I thought was weird was the sound effects for the goop sounds. Because it was just like it was the same sound every time. I swear to God, Nickelodeon used it on every one of their commercials. It was like bloop, bloop, and it was awesome. But yeah, I mean, if I had to rank this, are we there? Are we at that point?
Yeah.
I would give it a seal of approval. I think you should watch it. It was fun, and you should watch it. If a seal of approval means, hey, watch this movie,
Sure.
it gets a seal of approval.
Especially, yeah, I will agree, and especially because it's so clear, like the movies that it seemed obvious that took influence from this movie, like Aliens.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
clearly
Alien.
James Cameron
Aliens
was.
wasn't out yet.
I know that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah.
Clearly, James Cameron looked at this movie and was
Well,
like,
he worked on it.
"Oh, you know,
I could make this way cooler.
Yeah.
With some H.R. Giger art. Mhm.
right."
So I would even go as far as to give it a bronze. Because of the special effects. The story was odd, but it was pretty much easy to follow. I mean, you understood that
For the most part, it's not super sci-fi complicated.
No, there was two bad actors. The rest of them were passable.
Yeah.
It was fun to see that group, though. That was a fun casting group to see together.
Yeah.
Like, you got Joni, Grace, Sid Haig. I mean, Sid Haig was in everything back then, but it was just cool to see them. But
Yeah.
and the music was good too. But if I couldn't give it a bronze, like if I wasn't allowed to, I would give it the I'd rather watch it than Prometheus award, or I'd rather watch it than Alien Covenant award.
Yeah, I would go with that too.
I'll give it both.
I would say, yeah, because these awards mean so much, anyways.
It gets a bronze, and also I would rather watch it than the Prometheus and Alien Covenant award.
All right, I will go with bronze as well. So there you go.
Watch this movie.
Watch
It's fun.
Galaxy of Terror if you
It's-
have not seen it
It's
already.
on, if you have Amazon Prime on like a viewing machine,
One of those picture boxes.
yeah, it's on. It's included with Amazon Prime.
Yes, it is. So
Yeah,
check
watch
it
it.
out. Get at us on Twitter at ScreamFiends. Let us know what you thought of Galaxy of Terror. If you've seen it, watch it. If you haven't, and
I
let us
challenge our
know.
listeners. If anybody listening, please help me bore the shit out of Alex with some crazy ass 80s fucking
my God.
sci-fi horror shit.
Subscribe on that YouTube. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Find us on iTunes for the complete episode. It is not just this portion that is on video that is our episodes. We have an hour of news, rambling nonsense.
We should say we have 45 minutes of rambling nonsense and 15 minutes of rambling nonsense based on some news we got on Bloody Disgusting.
There you go. Well, from us at Scream Fiends, so long and farewell.
Bye.